Hey team! So today I want to talk to you about how you're going to do the reaction of ions lab. So you're going to be looking for precipitates in this lab. And a precipitate is a solid that gets formed by the reaction of two ionic solutions. Um, so when you see a precipitate forming, you're going to notice it not as like a big solid chunk, but you'll see that the solutions you have get cloudy. So when you mix two clear solutions together, if they get cloudy, that indicates there's a precipitate. And that precipitate happens because the cations and the anions actually connect together. Think of our chunk of salt, right? They kind of bond together like a magnet. And those connected pieces are insoluble, which means they're a solid in solution. Okay, so I just want to go through a little bit how you're going to do the lab. Okay, some things you're going to need. You're going to use a spot plate. Okay, make sure it's nice and clean when you start off. And then the chemicals that you have should already be laid out in droppers. Notice the droppers are all labeled, or there are a couple of sets of actual droppers. You're going to wear goggles for the lab. Okay. I set up a data table for you already, so you just have to fill that in as you go. Notice where it says here A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to put the formulas for the ions. So for example, A is silver 1, so you would write Ag plus because silver is Ag and 1 means it's plus 1. So that's what you'll do. Go through and write those in, the formulas for the cations and the anions. If you're not sure, remember there's a list of polyatomic ions on the back of your periodic table. Okay, so to do the lab, you're going to use a spot plate, and it says in the spot plate, mix 2 to 3 drops of each cation solution with each anion solution. Goggles for this lab. Safety-wise, a couple of these are definitely poisonous. The silver solution will stain skin, clothes, everything, so be really careful with that. Okay. All right, so goggles on. To do this lab, you're just going to take a couple of drops. Do it flat on the table. I'm just going to adjust my camera so you can see here. Okay. Okay. So you're going to take just a couple of drops, like 2 to 3 drops of your first solution. Now, when you drop these in, it's really important you do it from up above so you don't contaminate the dropper. If you touch the tip of your dropper into your solutions, you'll contaminate it, and then it'll be a mess for every lab. Okay, so a couple of drops of that with a couple of drops of our next solution. Okay, this is our anion solution. This one you can see turns white. Can't see from there. Okay, turns white and cloudy. So that indicates that a precipitate formed. And that was for our combination with A and 1. A is silver and 1 is chloride. So what we did was we formed a silver chloride ion. And that's the example I did for you in the analysis section. For the unknown, there is a dropper labeled unknown. That's a mixture of 2 of the numbered solutions, and your job will be to figure out what that is. Okay, so please make sure you record careful data and then work on your analysis. The conclusion for this lab will be on Canvas. I will post it. You're going to do a QSER where you figure out and explain how you figure out the unknown. To clean up this lab, you can just wash out your spot plate in the sink. Remember, when you wash out a spot plate, right, water on first, and then you put your spot plate in at an angle so you don't make a giant mess. Okay, because a spot plate is like a whole bunch of spoons and it makes a giant mess. Okay, so hope that goes well. Wash your hands before you leave. Have a great one, guys.